Just tell about it.
Man, I want to say we are back with another episode of the Owner's Manual. Took a little bit of hiatus, had to, just regroup, come back to it, but back harder than ever. And I want to say thank you for a little bit of delay. Had some technical difficulties, and traffic was a B word. I don't even know why I'm censoring myself. It was a bitch. Like, it was some real shit.
Yeah.
But man, before we get started, I want to say thank you for everybody who joined, subscribed, liked, and signed up for my summer giveaway. If you can't see it right now, it's right in front of you. We are doing a giveaway right now, the summer giveaway. You have all summer to subscribe to the page, like the video, and comment your favorite strain and your favorite way to smoke. And we got this little giveaway right here. We gonna run it one more time. You got like 3 more seconds to do it, and it's done. It's closed. Blah blah blah. And we are looking up the winner right now, and it is coming. And I'm gonna let our guest read who is the winner.
Great Olive, you just won yourself this bad boy right here.
You just won a whole ass Puffco Peak Indiglow. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty salty because I'm rocking with the Peak. So stay strapped because people like me want that.
Yeah.
So here's what you got to do to verify, because I want to make sure I'm not giving this to no bot or nothing like that. So follow me on Instagram, inbox me, message me, tell me that you won, and I'm gonna send you a secret code. What you're gonna do with this code is you're gonna go back to your comment, and then you're gonna edit your comment with that code just to verify that two-factor authentication for me, just to make sure I'm giving it away to somebody that actually signed up and that's 21 and up. But thank you, Great Olive, and he commented his favorite strain is apple fritter, and he likes to smoke with the bong with the neck broken off. And it was funny because the story behind that, let me see if I can even pull it up, because I was so intrigued at why somebody would like to smoke with the neck just clean off. But it is, let me see right here. Boy said that it was an accident with the dog, and he flipped out and knocked the bong over. So, that's just the consequence of having pets.
Yeah, all right.
Consequence of having pets. But hopefully, put that somewhere where he can't knock it over, and you're gonna be rocking and rolling. You're gonna take some nice fat dabs. But today I'm joined with someone that I've known for a long ass time. You would not know Silk Suede if it wasn't for this man right here. International artist, singer, songwriter, producer, and engineer, the homie V2.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on the show, man. Hey, the Owner's Manual, my guy, man, he hit me up a long time ago. It was like 2015. And he was like, I think he went to a show.
Yeah, it was something like that. Something like at Max Bar or something.
Yeah, went to a show at Max Bar, and then we linked up through common. I think it was Cosign too.
Yeah, that's out.
Yep, man, that was pretty dope, man. And then since then, I was like, damn, you doing your thing now? I'm doing my thing.
Fact, it was like, up and chat about it. It was like 2015, just young dudes just being like out in East Lansing, just like trying to look. For me, I was just trying to like find myself, you know what I'm saying, and find like that tribe or like of that group of people, that creative, you know what I'm saying, that got that own emotion that could keep going, you know what I'm saying? And I think like,
and especially, bro, in East Lansing, it's a different place to live, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much going on, man. People don't know. Shouts out to MSU though. MSU, man, it's like a whole different lifestyle. So like especially when you're trying to find yourself, we damn near met each other at the same point, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just getting out of like, into my own, you know what I'm saying, like figuring out how I'm actually gonna maneuver and how I'm gonna balance music and
exactly. And we just young. Nobody got it figured out at that age. Yeah. So like I knew exactly what I didn't want to do. And like at that point, you could not tell me that I was not about to be like a famous rap real estate entrepreneur, like part-time, like football player.
Yeah, were you around there in the Viva era? I don't know the name drop, but like when that shit was going on at MSU and everybody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur."
Nah. I was in a different wave. I think I missed out on that.
Yeah, but, no, I mean, no diss to them. I wasn't with them, but I just affiliated with a lot, and that's kind of like we got our music popping, like like kind of not biting their brand, but like waiting
inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like that silver lining of like, that's like for me, I'm like very competitive. So if I see somebody doing some cool shit, and I'm like salute. But watch how I do it.
But no, I actually said biting off their brand, but like they had a whole bunch of MSU events, and that's actually how we can get into that later. But how Zoom Entertainment was like, which is the label that I have, but how it like boom was like through Vima events, damn near like Vima events. They would come in and bring it out, and like we just happen to have people that were affiliated. One of our guys, J Bass, shouts out to J Bass, by the way. Follow him at JAEBASS. Follow him. But yeah, J Bass was affiliated with Vima, and then they would have like these events coming in, and then like that's how we just started doing shows and started like
that's cool.
Actually trying to make somewhere.
Vima, what does that stand for?
I have no idea, bro. I don't even want to like promote that because it ended up being like some kind of like Ponzi scheme type thing, a pyramid scheme.
That's typical.
Yes,
that's typical.
But it was just like we got to ride off of that little wave because they were having like hella just young people interested, and then like oh, their music is affiliated with this, which had no affiliation, but we just happen to know people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
it's the thing. I'm pretty sure just. I was out, selling, slanging. So like I got an opportunity to meet some pretty dope people, and like that's why I knew I wanted to get into cannabis so so deep because like I was doing like insurance, it was just something to pay the bills, but I was like not really passionate about it, and I just knew that like something with music and something with weed, and I'm just trying to make that happen. But so like, we met in, like 2015, damn near like 7 years ago. Yeah. So like, what got you to that point? Like, what was you doing before, 2015?
Man.
The origins.
I could start like from the very beginning or from like as far as music.
Let's start from just the very beginning, like, childhood, like growing up and stuff like that.
Okay. So I was born in a little country in Africa, southeast. It's called Malawi. Yeah, so I was born in the capital city of Lilongwe, and I came to the States at about like 5 years old. So that was like getting there like 1997, if you do the math. You know what I'm saying? That was a minute ago. So I came in 1997, and then like just basically landed in South Bend, Indiana, which is like at the very top, and nobody knows it unless you say Notre Dame, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, South Bend, Indiana." But yeah. So I was living in South Bend, Indiana until about like, I say about like 10. I started getting into like modeling and acting actually, because I'm gonna call her she's my sister, and like not real, she's actually my aunt, but like she grew up with my sister.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she started doing like little modeling thing, and there was this like program called Barbizon. So I was like, what, I like what they're doing in there, and they're doing a little acting and shit. So I got into it, and then I actually ended up like getting into some shit, like as in like getting agents and shit out in Cali, from this one thing, one big like talent agency thing they had in New York that me and my grandma went to.
Oh shit.
So from there, so that actually led me to move to Cali. So around like, I'll say like I can remember the grade, maybe about 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. I moved out to Cali, lived out there with my mom, and like just try to do different little things of acting and modeling. Mainly acting though, actually, because those agents were more like on acting shit. But and then like right before I was about to get into high school, I was telling my grandma like I'm trying to move back to South Bend because I was just kind of homesick. I grew up like around my grandma. She was like my mom for me. Like she's the one who raised me. So like I was like, I want to move back home. And then so my mom ended up staying out there, and then I went back to South Bend for high school. And then all of high school, that's when I actually picked up like actually no, how I picked up music was between that time when I was living in Cali.
Cali and South Bend.
Yeah, when I was so this time me and my mom moved to Cali, right? Man, you shouldn't ask me about this. This is gonna be a long story. So me and my mom were living out in Cali, and this is about like, I can't even remember, man. Maybe like 2008 or some shit. No, that was when Obama came in, right?
Yeah.
No, so it was about like 2006, 2005. But she used to do this little radio, like basically a radio show for my country on the internet.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So she did that on the internet, and she had this program. It was like called Magics, and I was like, shit, like this is like what's fun, and like I actually realized I can put beats on this. But it's like back then, so it was LimeWire and beats and all that, and like so that's how I actually picked up like the engineering side, and then that like just fell back, and then fast forward to when I moved back to South Bend, like end of freshman year. Me and my homeboy, his name is Wonderful. Actually, you'll know that Africans name their kids hella nouns and adjectives. But yeah, his name is Wonderful. But me and my guy were in the basement, and like we ended up finding out we could just download these programs and like get auto tune on there because we seen a video that said like, yo, you can get auto tune. So we downloaded that just so we can hear ourselves in auto tune, and then did a track to Turn My Swag On. Yeah, that was
Soulja Boy.
Yeah, Soulja Boy, the very first track ever, bro. So we did a song of that, and we're like, damn, we could actually do this shit. And then like, man, a couple of weeks later, I just convinced my my grandma to buy me a studio set. She's like, okay, well the grades are good, this, that. So I got to, and then we ended up getting the studio, and then that's just basically
that was it.
And that same session where we did Turn My Swag On, we were in the microphone. Mind you, it was a headset, not even a microphone. It was a fucking headset like the Indians do with the telecommunicate. Yeah, it's just funny. But in there, I was like Zoom, and it sounded so dope for the auto tune. And I was like, bro, our label's gonna be called Zoom Entertainment. Literally,
that was it. Like you got your name from the first ever like studio setup, and you just kept it rolling. So like, what does when you set Zoom back then, what did it mean to you compared to what it means now?
So shit. Back then, what it meant to me was like, we can like I can engineer myself, so I don't really need a studio. So that's why Zoom Entertainment was gonna be like, okay, this is actually gonna be a thing where like it's gonna be self-propelled, where I can be my own label technically because I can have people come in and I can record them and blah blah. So like off of like, mind you, with the least amount of studying, YouTube wasn't even popping like that. So, yeah. so I was just thinking, I could be a label, and then like the name Zoom Entertainment grew. And then like, eventually I met this guy still in high school, and he convinced me and my grandma to get like an ASCAP and an LLC for that shit. And like, I didn't even know what that shit was. We bought it and then like just literally forgot about it. And then like later on it came to existence. Like around the time I met you type shit.
Like that's funny. It's like you're doing something like you passionate about, and it's just there, and then you live life, and then like as you live, you like develop the purpose. But that's super dope. But like growing up and
oh yeah, by the way, I gotta admit I can't roll backwards, so I'm gonna let him roll this backwards.
Definitely gotta get to it. I'm damn near sweating. I haven't started rolling.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm smoking cachamba.
So I roll anything. But yeah, no, today, I appreciate you for bringing by some bud, but shouts outs to, I don't know what little boy doing over here. Got a little bug.
He's trying to chill, get in the session.
He's trying to get in the session. But we got some shouts outs to Pure Options. We got some Pro Bro, some Donkey Butters, looking like a nice sativa dominant, so something that'll keep you energized and whatnot. And yeah, we gonna roll a wood out here, but
while you're rolling, I'm gonna try to finish a little bit because I know it's a long-winded question.
Go ahead.
Just to give y'all a synopsis at least.
Context.
But so yeah, we ended up making that. So in high school, we both went to different high schools, but in high school that just became my thing. I was just known as like the nigga who does music. Like it's not like nigga in band type shit, but like even though back then I did play the trumpet a long time ago.
That's fine.
But yeah, I was just known as that nigga who does music. By the way, I want to give a quick shout out. My girl Leslie Designs, she did this lighter. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's got the whole logo. If you with the V2 on there, V2 logo up there. So if y'all ever want anything customized, whether it's rolling trays, anything, I'm gonna give them some info to let y'all know if y'all need. But Leslie Designs, appreciate you.
I'm about to tap in with Leslie.
Yeah, I actually met her in high school, and just in high school, everybody goes their separate ways, and then she just was a supporter of my music. I'm like, let me support you as well,
Right.
Just both ways. We gotta rise each other. But so I was just known as the music guy in high school just because I had the studio. And like, even if it was real or fake love, just because niggas know you got a studio, they want to, kick it type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want to beat her.
Yeah. But I was known as the music guy, and then that's where my like passion for music actually came because like at first I was just like I'm cool with like rapping, but I also want to just be an engineer.
Right.
And I want to make beats as well because that's like where the money's at the time, you know.
At the time.
Yeah. I was like, that's where the money's at. But then I was making these beats, and man, sometimes I'll be making these cold beats, and then people wouldn't go hard on them, or people would buy them and then not use them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I got this. Let me show you. So that's how the artistry really came in tune, and then yeah.
Let me run and get like a little ashtray real quick. I'll be right back. Should be like a commercial.
No problem. Commercial break. If y'all want to know where to get my info, it's at is that V2 at is that ISTHAT the letter V and the number 2. I'm already high. The letter V and the number 2. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, all that. TikTok. We on there too.
And it's gonna be a long interview if you already have.
Oh man, no, that's gonna be a long.
I've been saving myself for this.
Yeah, you need to. Let me not smoke for 2 days.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take one dab this morning and just write it out till 6. But that's really how it be though. But like, tell me about growing up. You said in Malawi.
Malawi.
Yeah, got any like memories? You funny as hell.
You funny as hell. Wait, is this, bro? I'm good.
Let me get an ashtray real quick. So the tobacco.
It's already over. It's already done for. I tell you.
No, you straight.
No, it's gonna be a long night.
But yeah, man. Do you got any memories growing up?
Yeah, man. Okay, so yeah, growing up in Africa, man, all I remember like vividly is like, man, it sounds so African, but I remember this one time me and my aunt did get like chased by a rooster because like I was getting chased and then she picked me up so that I wouldn't get, gotten. And but this was like I was only there until I was like 5.
Okay.
But like I got vivid memories of like I think it was like my 4th or 5th birthday. That was my 4th birthday. But yeah, like there's pictures of that, and I was like, man, I remember this before I seen this picture. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest. I smoke weed, so the older I get, the less I just remember, and the more I think about it, it's like, how come the only memories I got when I was younger are traumatizing memories?
Right.
Like I don't got no good memory. See,
so the other shit stuck.
Shit. But yeah, this is that's pretty interesting. I mean, it don't sound. I wouldn't say it sound African. I would just say
that is a little
true. No, I'm good. Get my hands sticky and everything. It'd be a catastrophe.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's weird, growing up in like Lansing. I didn't grow up in like downtown Lansing. I grew up on like West Side Lansing, and it was like a little country. So I was like, from my point of view, it would sound like it's country.
Like damn near Holt type.
See, like Holt was south, and I would just say like northwest, 20 minutes. Like Holt had white kids that wanted to be black. Grand Ledge had white kids that didn't want the black kids there.
Oh, okay.
That was some real shit.
Yeah.
Like, so, but it is what it is. But
damn. Okay. And so when did you decide to move to East Lansing? Like,
shit, right around the time when you met me, for sure. I mean, it was just like, that's the thing. Like growing up so close to East Lansing, school was like, or higher learning was like instilled in some kids, but not really me. Like, I think my mom wanted to instill the fact that like I could do more shit than just school. So she was like, if you were smart, you would go to college. If you were smart, you would do this. And like, I would just hear ifs, like it was just like a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So it was never like serious compared to my friends who was like, we doing the practice ACT, we doing this, we doing, at junior, senior year. So I'm just like, have fun, nigga.
Yeah. Like, he was like, man, I'm on something.
Yeah, exactly. But then, like I said, like I think it was at a point, but I was the music and weed kid. Like if you wanted like new music suggestions, hit me up. And if like you wanted to try weed, hit me up. Like it got to a point, and I'm listening to music, and I think I was listening, like it was at a stale point in time in the industry, and I was like, man, they doing it all wrong. I would say this, I would do this. He would nah. You know what, man? Let me get in the studio. And then that's literally all it took. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, and then ever since then, I've just been like, that dude that would like pull up to a party, and this is before scaring the hoes actually meant something. Like you could actually pull up and like freestyle with the homies and be like, oh shit, like back then. Now it's like he want to be a SoundCloud rapper, and I'm like, bitch, please.
Yeah,
like,
now it's a whole stigma to it.
Dog, it's crazy for no reason. But like, I always hated the label SoundCloud rapper. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's probably one of the best platforms to just get your shit out and have it be accessible.
Yeah, especially because like not everybody wants to pay for Apple Music and Spotify. A lot of my good plays came from like SoundCloud and all that, but there's just a stigma to it now where you can't even release on SoundCloud. Like I'll release some throwaways on SoundCloud just because like okay, at least like so you don't take me as a SoundCloud rapper. But.
Right. So like that's one thing. Like I know you multifaceted. You're doing a lot. Rap and produce. But what's one part about the process that got your heart, and then what's one part that's like, I'm just here because I'm V2.
Damn. All right. So the one part that's got my heart, I would say like the actual of like recording. For me, it's like the putting these like words together and actual recording. Like when it's like how it feels good to like scream, like when there's like a release.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like somebody can scream or even like fucking cry. Like that's a release where it feels good. And I feel like I'm able to like make a song and like because I'm old, like I sing it from the gut. I feel like I can like read what I'm writing. You know what I'm saying? It feels weird. I feel like I don't think I'm overly high. This is just me. But literally, like I feel like it feels good to actually record. So like of course listening to it is fun too. But like actually recording and like hitting that right one where I can sing the song 20 different ways just to find that the whole process.
That whole part.
Yeah. And I was always my own engineer, so like I'm okay with annoying myself and like able to do 100 takes on one bar type thing. So that's why it's fun for me.
Would you consider yourself a perfectionist, being so like hands-on with the process, or do you just kind of have a routine to where you like have peace when you get to a certain point?
I feel like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the delivery of the songs, but then after that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do what needs to be done but like as far as like literally me like delivery for like the bars that I'm saying, like it's more perfectionist on that. And then also like if I want to actually release a song, like for it to be checked off as I'm like we can release, like nobody's gonna say shit about this, like I don't care about volume, this and that, because I'm doing it all me, so I just it's gotta sound industry standard. So I'm more picky on that, and I'll take. But like, each song it might not take that long to make the song, but like 100 hours going to like mixing and mastering just so somebody. But then that's like why my passion is more on like the recording part, because some people lose the passion when they have to like do all the extra. That's why it's kind of hard being independent, because you got to do the release and the cover art. You got to set your own little promo, get your little promo team if you got one, all that shit. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make music.
Right.
So I have like 1,000 songs that's not released, and I got like 20 songs that's released. Well, non-SoundCloud, maybe like 15, 20.
Right, actually on digital streaming platforms where you can track the analytics and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if somebody were like one day just took all my files and exported all the like songs I started, they'd be like, holy shit, nigga.
It's like you got a whole vault, like do we? So God forbid, knock on wood, but there's gonna be a couple of posthumous V2 albums.
Them bitches would be the hardest, because then actually, posthumous niggas actually start listening to what you were saying.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So then they're gonna go back and be like, damn, like that's why he took so much on each one of these bars, because like, okay. And then once you hear more and more songs, you're like, oh shit, this one connected. Make a whole fucking movie out of like different shit that I said, and I don't even really write about me until like more recently.
Interesting. Yeah. So like when you said you didn't write about you would, it was like, what would be like the process of gaining content? Would you listen to your friends' stories? You just just pen and paper, just going at it?
So mine, like I have 3 big influences, and that's Drake, Kanye, and Lil Wayne, and that's like it sounds cliche, is the word, right? It sounds very cliche, but like, because those are of course the biggest ones, but like each of what I take from them, like
It's huge.
Wayne's got the craziest bars and metaphors, and I just like always been intrigued at that because like I'm just like, bruh, like what the fuck's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Dre's got the flow with it, with the witty bars, which is like, you know, the ones that like he says some simple ass shit in the hardest way and it sounds hard. You know what I'm saying? And then Kanye is just like, he's not doing something that you either heard him do before or you heard anybody else do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like bringing that like uniqueness to even something that somebody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day I was listening to what was that? It's the one with Cardi, him and
is it newer?
Cardi, him and what's his name? Jerk.
Okay. Yeah. I think I know that song. I think I might have heard it once. He might have like referenced Hennessy or something like that.
Yeah. That one. Okay.
I did tap in.
It was just that type of like, that's the type of shit I look at Kanye for. Like he'll come in the same song everybody just did, but just reverse the song where he's just like in another realm now. Like, but,
yeah, I respect Kanye because like he's still innovative, you know, in his mid-40s, and like you see people in their prime still breaking it back just to work with him. You know what I'm saying? And like
true.
That's like is it me and Ye, Gemini twin, that's the homie.
Okay,
so like I see a lot, and that's the thing. Like I genuinely believe that like the most innovative people get the most slander, like the most like pushback or doubt when
it's
they
hard
try
to articulate your thoughts, man.
It's
like,
hard to convince people of shit like they've never heard, especially if they've never seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like somebody gonna sound crazy when you spitting a new idea because like that's what we're here to do. Like I always
for real. Even like I'm just imagining Edison trying to explain to somebody what he wants to do about a light bulb, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Where's the fire?"
Right. You don't like that motherfucking candle, dog, with your punk ass.
So stupid. Right. Literally, shit like that. But yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's how I try to like sometimes too. Like when I'm writing bars, I'd be like, damn, that might go over heads, or like, you know, like damn, I was actually doing a song earlier today, and I can't even remember the bar. Like
that's typically how it.
Oh no, I was like, all you niggas talk like my watches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just let that sit there because I'm like, man, that's gonna go over people's head, but it's also like they're gonna get it years later on some, or somebody just got it right now and they're like, nigga, that's not even nothing. That's all. But you get that though? All my all these niggas talk like my watches.
All my niggas talk.
You know, all these niggas talk like my watches.
All these niggas talk like my watches. I'm thinking of the watch face. I'm thinking like metaphorically. You might have to elaborate. Because I might be one of those dudes 2 weeks later. Oh shit, nigga be too hard.
Exactly. Okay, so of course the word "all my niggas talk." That's what you're hearing. All my niggas talk like my watches. But in reality, how does your watch sound when it's talking?
Six.
Hey. Talks. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? All these niggas talk like my wife, but I was like word playing on it. Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. See, that's that shit. I fuck with that.
But I'd be like, damn, I shouldn't say that because like, but not trying to gas with it. I just like really take writing serious because it's like I already have a job where I'm good at, like, you know, I feel like I'm straight there, or even if I don't, I have other endeavors where like I'm doing this music literally now. It's like for me, no trying to look at like nothing for anybody. And like back then I didn't really have a character. Like I didn't, not a character, but like
a persona.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, that's what I said. Like
like a brand, you know?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't write about me. So I was just writing scenarios of like what I was seeing and how I would do and sing that I'm seeing. So like I wasn't really able to form a person of who V2 is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I even had my very first headliner show was called V2 versus V2. So you know, the real VITU versus V2. Yeah,
that's on some TI type shit.
Yeah, right.
TI versus TIP.
Literally, but it was because I'm like, bro, I can't form who I was. But then I'm like, you know, it's okay to like talk about who you are in your story. I just don't like to talk like too personal unless like you know, I just don't know what niggas going. It's just a story at the end of the day. Just like, oh, all right, cool story. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely went through like I felt in a sense like you want to rap your life, but also there's an art in selling fantasies. You know what I'm saying? Like Gucci Mane is so successful because he made niggas feel like they had bricks in their trunk.
Yeah.
Niggas probably had 2 tens and a baby stroller. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no bricks in no damn trunk, but Gucci man convincing me. You know what I'm saying?
As
So
soon
like
as that bass come on and he's in,
yeah.
like, okay,
and then it's like there's an artistic part of speaking your truth and making it like rhythmic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's that part. I'm like, all right, let me focus on that because you can talk about drugs when you want.
Who are your top 3 influences?
Top 3 influences. I would just like I have a lot because I take bits and pieces. Like somebody like I think of like I don't know. It's just like playing basketball or football. Like somebody might have like the best reverse layup or something like that, and that's the hardest. So
Yeah.
I would say influences because my brand is CFBM, Carefree Black Man. So
Carefree
like,
Black Man.
So like I said, I grew up. It's half of the niggas, half of the way you ain't even want me there.
Yeah.
So like I was like, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want because I grew up, you know, being told don't say this, don't say that, don't dye your hair, don't, you know.
Like, sure you're not a Capricorn, bro? Living the same life. Yeah,
no, that'd be crazy. But so I think my top 3 influences probably Cuddy for like mental awareness. Like he was like one of the first of like our generation to really speak on it and like make it mainstream. And then Tyler Creator, like just carefree black men doing what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I fuck with Yachty right now. Like I think Yachty's doing some cool shit with the youth, but he ain't trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? But you said Ye too, and I probably have him as my third. Cuddy, Tyler,
and this is off your artistry or just?
I would just say off like artistry and
your top 3 on artistry, or is this like on your influences and who you are in general?
Both. I think I lived through my music. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't.
Man, that's
music.
A great answer right there.
I want my music to represent me. You know, so like it had to sound like something I would put out. Like my last album was like, it was very inspirational and like a lot of advice was spitting in the lyrics because that's where I was at. I low-key needed that advice. You know what I'm saying? Like when you said V2 versus V2, like the outro of my song, I'm giving advice to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
talking to yourself, because you know, bro. So I got what music is, man.
Yeah, I got one bar off the outro. It's like, we was with you when you went through that depression. I can see it on your face and your expression. I only say it because it felt like a reflection. Look in the mirror, use a lie as protection. Like, bro, I'm just talking to myself, like in the mirror, like, bro, like you could live your truth, or you could, you know.
Now, did you write that on the phone? Did you write that on a paper, or did you just freestyle it?
So that album, it was like phone and freestyle type shit. Like I was just like write 2 bars, write another bar, and then take those 2, 3 bars and just start freestyling.
Do you remember recording that specific bar? I'm always interested in talking to other musicians.
Well, so like I said, I was in a really dark place when I dropped that album. So like I was doing a lot of shit, wasn't drinking, like had to get back in a zone that I wanted to be at. But I was like it was like late night vibes by myself, and I was in Lansing. And I do remember it because it was one of the first songs I released off the album. I did something like super unique because I was so confident with the sound. I dropped the outro as like one of the premiere singles, you know?
Yeah.
And they was like, why would you do that? I'm like, are you listening to it? Like, listen to the lyrics. Like, hard as hell. Like, the hook is, yeah, I want to take this time to celebrate when my album dropped. PSA, evacuate. Like, get out the way, nigga. Like,
yeah, it's my time. Yeah, yes, sir.
That's really what it's all about. And I get my inspo from a lot. Like, I think, you know, it's weird how, like, you know, growing up, I like lost the urge to keep like an underground sense of like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of people I started listening to became mainstream. Like I was listening to 2 Chainz when he was Titty Boy. You know, like Duffel Bag Boys back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to figure out like Flatbush Zombies. Like I found like way back. There's a bunch of like people that are established. They might not be mainstream, but they went from, you know, being a hometown local to being way established, and then they don't gotta quit because they streams back up their shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just been the fucking wave. But like, I would say, you know, who are your biggest inspirations in your inner circle?
in my inner circle of people, shit. Man, the media. So I was saying, everybody's got their. It takes a village, and that's a real thing. And like everybody, as far as my inner circle, you talking about my friends and my family.
Both. You know what I'm saying? People that just inspire you that you know, because we got inspirations who we just look up to. We ain't never low-key met before. We feel like we know because we identify so much. But then you got your people in your corner. They might have a story. They just support you so much. Because like my thing was when I started doing this, I didn't realize how many people actually believed in me. There's no way. There's that battery. Wow.
Wait, the battery died on that?
It's about to, but I just replaced the batteries. It's been a fucking shit show, but
you good.
I'm just confused. I've been charging them all day, literally, right over there. Anyways, it's just me being in my own head, blah blah blah.
No, you're good. So shit. Right off the board, my grandma on my mom's side, like my mom's mom, biggest inspiration ever in life because she brought her 4 kids and her grandson to America. Mind you, my mom had me. Sorry, putting her business out there. She had me at 13, bro. So in Africa, at 13, right? So my dad was 16. Yeah, like 15 going on 16. She had me at 13, right before she turned 14 type shit. And yeah, bro, like my grandma literally brought all of us over here type shit. Well, like she brought my mom here first, and then like my mom, got the lottery type shit, and that which is luckiest ever, and then ended up, enabling the whole family to come over, but like, anyways, everybody got here like through my grandma type shit, and then she continued, and she just was the one that always pushed school and always, she was like, just God school. Where we grew up Seventh-day Adventist. So she was just always on that grind, and she's just like, I don't know. She's really nice, but she just never folded for who she was and what she stood for. So it was like, and I appreciated that. Like I was able to actually like skate by school because she would have me at, bro. Like mind you, live in South Bend, Indiana, and live by IOSB, which is the local college over there. At IOSB, she would have me in there reading books that are like way ahead of my level. But like, and I would hate that shit, and then like, after that, I'll be able to go out and play. But it just made school so easy, understanding that like, man, all I gotta do is like literally, just remember. And it just taught me school is just all remember. So like, but with that also like I didn't value school as much because I understood what was going on is just remembering what the fuck is. So like they'll teach you how to do it. You just gotta remember how to do it. You already know how to do it from like, math questions are just like adding and subtracting, but like algebra would just be both of them or some shit. And like, but I don't know. I can't explain it, but it enabled me to skate by, but then I was more able to hone in with music for that.
I feel you.
Yeah, hone in with music and be able to make my own character.
Nice.
Yeah, like not character. I don't know. I keep saying character.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Owner's Manual hosted by me, Silk Suede, Zay, and Bree. Also want to just do a little recap and say thank you to Corey and DJ for coming on for the second episode and doing the Puffco review. It was super cool. We smoked a lot of U-Baked and Pyramid and some Grow Haven duct tape and had a barbecue after, so it was pretty cool. But today we are on location again in Detroit at the Copper House. We are with Jess Jackson, co-founder of the Copper House, and Bree. And I'm going to pass it off today because Bree couldn't join us last week, and I feel like y'all done had enough of me at this point, so I'm going to just take the little sidecar. So Bree, take it over.
All right. I first of all just want to thank Jess for having us here. Ain't no place to come to Detroit than the Copper House.
Oh, thanks.
The hospitality is the best. I mean, y'all see the setup, right? So let's just get into it. Tell us. Let's start with little Jess. Where'd you grow up? Where do you find inspiration from your youth? Start us there.
I think that I grew up in Southwest Detroit, which is when I lived there, it was about 75% Latina. And I think that as a biracial person, we just had this conversation. I've lived in a multicultural world. I've lived in a world that's pretty global. I learned Spanish early on, and I just walked around my old neighborhood recently. And like, I just want people to feel valued no matter where they're coming from. And I want them to feel at home. I can see it when I walked around. I walked around my old high school just recently and was like, this feels like home to me. This feels like sacred space. And I think that people should always be able to find that grounding. And I think that when I'm most grounded is where I derive inspiration and knowledge and deep knowing.
Do you think that wisdom that you just spoke has always been a true statement, or do you think it's something that's been a part of your spiritual journey?
Ooh, that definitely took practice. Yeah. I think that I didn't even recognize what being ungrounded or not having a strong footing felt like, because I grew up without having a strong footing. Mm-hmm. And I think that it has been intentional to find those pieces of joy, those pieces of my soul, to attract that back to me so that I can always feel grounded.
Put that on a t-shirt. Put it on a t-shirt, man. Can you walk me through what high school looked like for you? Were you using cannabis in high school? How did you come to be comfortable with cannabis as a whole and transition me into college as well?
Man. So in high school, I was a 4.3 student and was the leader of 7 organizations. And I just counted it recently.
Can you name them all now?
And them days, like everybody's weird, and literally everybody has their own weird to somebody,
basically. But
are we back?
Yeah, we back.
Oh, we said.
No, I would just say, slide over that way a little bit more. Okay. And I got you some water right there too.
Oh man, you got all the class.
Gotta make sure the host or the guests are straight. Yeah. But like I was just thinking how crazy it is, just like the whole school system, like it's just all memory, not really people learning stuff until they pay $1,000 to go to higher education.
Yeah, no, I feel like low key, it might be the opposite. Yeah, like
what I was saying?
Yeah, as in like I feel like you learn everything you need in K through 12.
Okay.
And then after that, like of course, unless you really want to like certify some shit, you learn like the first 2 years are like I don't know. Like the first 2 years is just general education where it's just like you're just proving that you learned this shit in high school. But then after that, like those next 2 years where if you're trying to get a master, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's when it's like, okay, you're gonna specify I'm learning this at least.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a interesting way to look at it. Let's say so, fucking I'm trying to think. What kind of cannabis do you like typically gravitate to?
Mine is always Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue?
Yeah.
Big indica? Like indica dominant?
Man, I'm not even gonna cap. I don't know too much about the indica and sativa thing, but
What you want to learn about?
man, my homie so and so put me on this Gorilla Glue at a good age when I was in my music game, and I was like, man, I'm making some, I'm making some good music and understanding some shit at the time. So I fuck with Gorilla Glue. Anytime I hit the studio and I got Gorilla Glue, it's done.
Yeah. So like, what did you in today's time? Like, what are you specializing in? Like, where are you really like attacking your focus at in today's time, 2022?
So as far as life or music?
Music.
Shit. Right now, like the thing is, I don't really like to have an agenda as far as like music because I just want it to flow. But I did with my crew, Malawi Mage, shouts out to them. I released a whole saga of music, and it was like 2 a month, like every 2 weeks type shit. And like every second one was with a video, and it was just like just a rally. But like I said, I like to do music because like it's like I want to do the music for me, and it feels good to record in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that's where the agenda is. But I'm trying to put something together so I can just at least people fuck with me. They do support, and I like really love that shit. So I'm like, yo, I will go this extra mile out of what I really like to do to release this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like make this shit happen.
What's next for V2?
Man, okay, so on some not even random, but I ended up dropping in my country because I was like, it's about that time, it's about that time where like I start, at least making some type of name since I am doing music and I do have this in America. Like, why not at least show my people over there? I know I'll get some support, this and that. So I dropped it was an EP, but it was basically all the songs that I've already released in the States on Spotify and Apple because it's not that accessible. Some people do have it, but it's not that accessible there. So through all their major medias, I ended up running a campaign and released. It's called Tafiga, which means I have arrived in my country.
Tafiga.
Yeah, it means I have arrived. So like, I'm getting into conversation, so just let me know past that. Probably won't even. But yeah, so I dropped that, and then just dropping it just to have music over there, because especially like my cousins and them that hit me up on WhatsApp, because that's where if you have foreign family or anything, the main place they talk to you from is WhatsApp for sure. So they were always asking me for songs and like, it's the new music, and I was like, man, I got all these songs out, but it's hard to I can't just give them the link because even to click that link, that shit's cost for them, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ended up dropping that, and it actually ended up going #1 for I think a good 4 months. I don't know what it's at. I think it's I think it's at #8 now. But yeah, bro.
Man, shouts out to V2 for going #1, man.
Yo, hey, man. I'm trying to appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
That's hard.
No, man. It was just it was actually an unintentional blessing, but we still give praise where it is.
Do you feel like having ties to Malawi, like before you dropped that, did you felt like a pressure to kind of bring that culture to America or bring something back there? Like when you said it was that time, like what was kind of like the deciding factor?
The deciding factor. So in 2018, literally got on a plane on December 31st from my mom's, which is in Frisco, right, San Francisco, and got on a plane and landed in Malawi and on January 2nd, right? It was some weird shit. I was literally in the plane for 2 days type shit.
Damn. That's dope.
But yeah, landed there and literally stayed the whole year until November something. Damn near. I got here at the beginning of December of 2018.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so that whole year that I spent there, man, that shit was just okay, now I know who and what, you know. Now like I've been making all this music and I just didn't know like where to go. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about earlier. I just didn't know like where to go with it or like how to like build my own, like tell my own story, because I didn't know like my story full handed. I got, you know, get some shit from like, you know, my grandma, I hear stories here and there, but going to the motherland and seeing that shit and like actually living in there, like I'm talking about like shitting in holes like with the thingy. I know it sounds bad like that, but like it's just an outhouse. But
no, I mean it's real life, you know. Like,
so
it's not too far away, like from
humbling as fuck.
Yeah, like I mean, you see all this, and then like people get surprised and like, what? Like, bro, people still live like that.
Yeah,
like, it's, you know, and that's super interesting because like, do you like, have you ever shown somebody your music and they like expect it to sound like African or anything, or like do people expect you to have like your own sound or something like that? Like,
no, because people don't actually expect, like they don't think I'm African. Yeah, they, like when they see me, they actually it's weird. Like I mean, that's not weird. I guess maybe like in the African can spot me out. Like maybe he's African, but like most people just like, you know, they're like, okay, he looks like a nigga.
I'm gonna be honest, that's facts. Because anybody else, I feel like I do be like looking like, hey, African, you can kind of tell, like, just like, I don't know, right here, I'd be looking at the eye, like, right here, I could probably like tell, I don't know, that's just me.
Yeah.
But what, like, you know, you've been performing for a long time. Like, what's your favorite memory?
Favorite memory
in performing?
Man, damn, that's a good one. Shit, bro. I don't know. There's been a good amount, man. There was this. Okay, I know we opened up for Rich the Kid, and that crowd was hype as fuck. Like opened up for Rich the Kid, and who was that? TK and Cash. At that time,
Where
that
was
was at Max Bar.
Damn.
Yeah, right at Max Bar.
That's yo, shout outs to Max Bar, man. R.I.P. that place. So many famous people just low key pulled up to
low key as hell, and like, bro, I didn't even know how we pulled that bitch, but yeah.
Well, like that was the great thing about it. Like it was just so run down. Like low key, anything could happen. I mean, I remember fucking hearing stories about people fucking on like that big round ass table in there.
Oh yeah,
and
bro.
And then like there was one time
it sounds like at Max Bar.
Yeah, that's
TK and Cash, and I was like, goddamn, bro.
Like, I remember it was funny because like, you know, everybody that performed ain't never on time, but like we was waiting for Bones and like Xavier Wolf. He was outside smoking. I passed the blunt to motherfucking like the dude I was waiting on to perform. Like I was like, hey, this is some shit. Like this is crazy. But I'm like, oh yeah, Max Bar. Like I don't know. Like
shit. That's funny as fuck.
Lansing, like, and then you know there was the Loft too. RP the Loft.
Yeah, the Loft. Bro, actually the show right before that TK and Cash show, funny shit. I actually was like performing on stage. And like it was funny as fuck. That actually might be my favorite show. I was performing on stage, and we went over our time. Like, so we didn't even get to do our last song, but they cut off in the middle of my song. But I just jumped off stage and started like singing the rest of the verse to a girl because it was like an R&B one. Yeah, and then you know, like we ended up like being friends after that. So it's funny. So like,
what's the do you try to maintain a balance of, you know, like hip hop, rap, and R&B, or you just let it flow?
Yeah, man. I just whatever beat comes on, let's just. Yeah, I'm just like, let me get in the studio, whatever, you know, comes through. Usually, like, right now, shout out to my guys, Jarrell, Kevin, all my guys on the My Made, Jonah, Lohis, Dao, we got, aka T Music, JKMG, my bad. Let me say their artist names. Low Dot, Flizzy, my bad. I got to shout out all my niggas. E Drums, Frankie, Frank the Tank, or no, Frankie K, my bad. Who else is on there? Okay, we got everybody. But shout out to them niggas. But that's the whole squad word is just like always just making music together and just like whatever beats pulled up, oh, you want a feature, we got a feature, just like literally just making music and just like getting the happiness from it and then also releasing it. Like there is a positive outcome that can come from it. You can get signed or you can get, you know, hella fans or you can touch hella people. So like it happens to, you know, all play in, but like
So when was the last time you made the beat to a song and then rapped on it and dropped it?
Made the beat? Oh shit, bro, it's been a minute. That was probably around the time that like we met.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I haven't made a beat in him. Actually, no. I'm tripping. I was tripping. There's been one like when I moved to after we met, I ended up moving to Cali before. But man, it's been a minute, bro. I haven't made a beat. It's probably since like 2017.
Damn.
Damn, man.
And that's the sad part. Like at one point, like, you know, making beats was the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you see anything? I was like, all right, let me pivot and do something else. Like,
I just found more. Like, I don't know actually. So I feel like every beat that I'm like, when I was making beats, I would want to rap on beats, but I just couldn't rap to my own beats. Yeah, like I'm like most of my beats I just couldn't rap to them because I like put so much hours into making the beat that I can't even like put words after that. But yeah, I think like because I always had a mic just because that's where like, you know, I was making money off of like engineering type things. So like I always had a mic, so me getting on a beat was just like, you know, natural. More play. Yeah, it was just more play and like
exercise in a way,
and also figuring out how I can do somebody else's vocals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one thing. Like I know I could be successful in like making a good beat, but then it's like, all right, what am I doing with it? Where I feel like I would overthink that process. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like you said, like giving it out, and then somebody don't use it or don't go too hard. Yeah. Like it's like I realized I couldn't be a chef. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to cook and somebody be like, oh, you cook, but I just be like, yes, you get the fuck out my house. Like, get my plate. That was some bullshit. Like,
did you say you was allergic?
No. Yeah. So like, I always salute, and then you know, the age of the internet, niggas just take shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't want to pay for shit. Like, okay. Unfortunately, like you be listening, and it was funny. I always heard on SoundCloud, just like being able to like analyze the trends of like digital streaming platforms and stuff like that, and seeing like, all right, like there was a time where like it was shunned upon to like rip a beat and then spend money to put it on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff, and then niggas didn't even care. Like, you know, you would hear a producer tag the middle of the song like, they probably didn't pay for this. Like, that's some bullshit. They just you know, rapping over it, and it's like, all right, like it's kind of, you know, you want to pay respect to the person who made the beat. It's probably like they live in, you know what I'm saying? But I respect people that do it for the exercise, you know, like all aspects around it, you know, because there's people that just do it just to do it.
Yeah, just to feel the beat that somebody made, you know what I'm
saying? And I pray that like I can still like rap and make music, because sometimes I gotta be mentally up, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm down, the beats I'm listening to are like sad beats, you know what I'm saying?
When was the last time you made a song?
Last time I made a song was probably the album. Like I take breaks. I'm like, I respect the process of people like Kendrick, who low-key like wait 5 years in between albums because there's like so much growth in between. But
so do you wait 5 years and then start making the album, or do you make?
It's really just emotion. I was just going through so much shit. I'm like, gotta get it out. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like a compressed
release, right?
Exactly.
It's like screaming. You know?
It's therapy. You know, it's therapeutic. And I like going back to the topic of talking about my life. I just felt like I wasn't going through as much shit like people wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, don't nobody want to hear about me leaving a chick on Reddit. Everybody get left on Reddit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't deep enough. It didn't have substance. Like, because I definitely feel like, you know, pain sells, you know? And if you're not really, like, if you
juice were
and that's like the thing. And Cardi B said something about like sad dudes like ruining music, you know, because the music sounds too bad. And I kind of agree, but that shit sell. Like Uzi ain't say, you know, push him to the edge, all his friends are dead, to not go 5 times platinum. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit worked. Like I'm not saying all my shit about to sound sad, like, oh, we gotta check on this dude.
Yeah, but as long as it's not like all real shit, like I think it's like it doesn't mean you can't make that genre of, you know, sad music.
Right. Like I said, I have to feel it.
It's all emotion. If you listen no, I don't want to say this because I can't really back it up. But I was about to say Prince sound like most of his shit is some sad music.
I mean, he was just a player type. I don't know. He was. Hey, shouts to fucking Prince, but you know,
yeah.
Getting to the end of the interview, say any
I
say
got time to talk, bro. What's up?
but let's say anybody you want to shout out?
Like I already said, the whole gang Malai made. Shouts out, man. Shoot, bro. I got everybody, of course. I said my nigga Jarrell, my nigga Kevin, always in the studio. Shout out my nigga George. Man, bro. That's a deep question because there's so many people that's running by where I can only name the niggas that I just seen in the last. Shout out the gang, OBZ, man, everybody, man, my aunt, my sister, my I don't know, everybody. Nah, I'm just like, okay, now let me get serious. So shout out to like literally my grandma, shout out to my aunt, everybody. Shout out to my my plug, Keys Crud. I'm pretty sure Keys Crud. Shout out to my photographer, Mr. Moon. Shout out to literally the whole gang Malai made. If you don't know about them, you will know about them. Shout out to literally, man, everybody in my life that's like believing in everything that I'm doing right now, bro. I appreciate y'all and just stick with it because I will release more of what I'm thinking in my head and it's just, see if it comes to fruition because I'm hoping for the best for us. And shouts out to my Malawi because that's who we doing it for. Appreciate y'all. And shouts out to you, man, for having me on this. Oh shit, let's go. Shouts out to you though.